Hi, this is Dave Johnson. In this video, I'm going to present an introduction to citing using APA. We'll discuss why you need to cite, what you cite, how you do it, and I'll give you some examples of a journal, a book. We'll review the details about that, and then I'll also show an example of how you cite a website that has no author and no date. And at the end, I'll provide you with some helpful resources that you can access on your own. Well, you must cite to avoid plagiarism, to make sure that you don't have an academic integrity violation. Basically, what you're doing is you're indicating where the information comes from. In these papers in graduate school, you just don't state your opinion. You need to back your opinion up with outside research. And then you have to show where it came from. Now, you don't just cite quotations. In fact, you should have very few quotations. The guidelines are about 1 quotation per 10 pages of written work. Therefore, most of what you're going to be writing, you're going to be paraphrasing, or you're going to be writing in your own words. You're going to paraphrase the outside source and then cite where it came from. Now, you just can't copy an outside source. If you were to copy something, you'd have to put it in quotation marks, and it would be a quotation. Therefore, you can't just copy. You need to rewrite it in your own words. Basically, how you cite is in the body of your text, you put in parentheses the last name of the author, the year it was published, and a page number if applicable. Now, you can put this at the end of a sentence or at the end of a paragraph. Then at the end of your written work, you'll provide a reference list where you give the details of the cited resource. And this reference list is in alphabetical order. In the reference list, basically what you put is the last name of the author and the first initial, the year, the title, and the publisher. Let's provide an example of a journal, and I'm going to cite it at the end of the paragraph. So let's say this is the body of my paper here. This is my paper, and I've written a paragraph here. And at the end of the paragraph, I'm going to show the citation. And the citation is the author's last name, the year it was published, and the page where I got the information. Then at the end of my paper, I'm going to have a references list. And there I'm going to provide the author's last name and the initials of the author, the year. Then I'm going to put the title of the journal article. Then I'm going to put the journal name, the issue the volume number, the issue number, and then the pages that the article covered in the journal. Now, I could, as a variation of that, rather than putting the citation at the end of the sentence, I could use the author's name in my paragraph and then just simply put the year and the page number. And at the end of the paper, under my references, it appears the same way as before. There are other variations as well. Now, let's take a book example. I won't show the beginning of the sentence variation. I'll just show the end of the paragraph variation here. Here's in the body of my paper. Here I have a paragraph. I have paraphrased it. In other words, written it in my own words, and then I'm going to show where it came from. So here is my citation: the last name of the author, the year, and then the page number where it came from. Should be a period here at the end of the sentence. And then at the end of the paper, I've got my references. And then here I've got the author last name, the author's initials, the year. And for books, you put the title of the book in italics. And then I put the location of the publisher and then the name of the publisher at the end. So let's review. We'll look at the references list here, and we'll look at a journal article. And the first thing you do is you put in your references list the last name of the author and the initials of the author. Then you have the year of the publication, and then you have the title of the article. And notice it is not all it's not all capitalized. Typically the first word and then the second word after the colon. And after that, you have the title of the journal, or the journal. In this case, it's Review of Educational Research, and that is capitalized. Then you have comma. Then you put in the volume number. Then you put in the issue number, and then you put the page range in the journal. Now, it's possible that you may have more than one author. If that's the case down here, you just put comma and then provide the last name and initials of the next author. You could have two or even more authors, and everything else is basically the same. Now, if you have a DOI available, you place that at the end. And then to review a book, remember in the references section at the end of your paper, you put the last name of the author, the initial, the year, and then you put the title of the book, and that is in italics. Then you put the location of the publisher, colon, and then the name of the publisher. Typically you're going to be using should be using journal articles, books, but on occasion you'll go to some website and it has some valuable information for you. And what happens if that website has no author and no date? So we'll show an example where you put the citation at the end of the paragraph. Well, if it has no author, what happens is the title then goes into the author section. And if it has no date, you just simply put N period D period. And then in the citation, in the body of your work, you enclose the title in quotation marks. At the end of the paper, where you have your references section, you're going to put the title, where the author last name would normally appear, you're going to put the title, and it has no date, so you put N period D period, and then you put retrieved and the date you retrieved it from, and then you give the URL of the website. Now, I've only given you basically three examples: a journal, a book, and a website with no author and no date. There's a lot of other resources available regarding academic integrity and citing at our North Central Academic Success Center. There's a lot you can read. If I were to go there, if I go up here to Commons, or the Commons and other resources, and click on Academic Success Center, you can see over here on the left we have academic integrity and plagiarism, and then there are resources for writers where you have APA FAQs, APA style. There's a lot available there. Some suggestions about software for APA formatting. There's a free resource called RefWorks, and then a companion Cite and Write that you can get from at the library here at North Central. The Purdue University has their OWL website, and here you can see they give you all kinds of information about APA. So here are some a reference list with one or more authors, how to cite books. So you can see a book, edited book, no author, etc. So there are many examples that they provide here. And then at Capella University, they also have a website where you can, let's say we want to look at electronic resources. And then down here at the bottom, we can see, all right, there's an internet article based on a print resource, a corporate document, without a web document without author or date, etc. I mean, so there are a lot of resources available on the internet. A lot of times you can just Google. If you have some resource that you're unsure how to cite, you can just Google it. Well, I hope this has been helpful for you, and remember to cite your sources, and to paraphrase, and to really only use one quote per 10 pages. Most of what you're going to do is going to be written in your own words. Thanks.